So, hello everyone. Yes, episode 2. As promised, week after the last one, and today we're going to talk about the fundamentals of success. Where do we start, right? I'm going to try and do it in as best order as I possibly can, because it does vary from person to person. However, there is some fundamentals to be known and that are going to aid you in, let's face it, your ultimate success and achieving your goals. So, first off, confidence, right? It's self-explanatory in itself. However, with confidence, it means that you are willing to put the work in, you are willing to put your name out there, and you're willing to just throw yourself into the deep end, because that takes confidence, throwing yourself out of that comfort zone and into that zone where it is a little bit unknown. I'm not being funny, if you don't take a risk, you're not going to get anywhere. That's it. And confidence all comes under that one bracket. So, confidence, for me, right? I briefly mentioned it in my last episode, but it's taken a long time for me to get where I am today. Personally, not in my career and success story, etc. It's taken me a long time to be who I am. And all of this is now piled into one thing, and my name is out there. I'm here on YouTube, I'm there on Instagram. I'm really trying to make an impact on people's lives, and let's face it, make an impact on my life too. So, confidence can be rolled into the next fundamental, right? And that's self-belief, okay? We all know what self-belief is. We all have a sort of different definition when it comes to self-belief. But you need to be confident in yourself. That's first off. So we've already covered that in the first fundamental, right? And we moved on to the next bit. So confident in yourself. You need to stay hungry for what you want, and you need to love what you do. Because if you don't stay hungry, you don't really want it. And you know, if you're only sitting down and watching another episode of something on Netflix, or just, you know, you put things off and you take your time. I've done it, I've been there quite recently too. So yeah, self-belief, believe you can do it and understand that you can do it. Achievements that you've previously achieved. Look back and remind yourself of how good you felt, and remind yourself that you can actually do something if you put your mind to it. So that's the next bit with regards to self-belief, right? And as briefly mentioned at the beginning, all of these fundamentals are there to achieve your goals. However, to achieve your goals, you've got to set your goals. It's a big, big subject, and I'm currently writing an article on it with regards to goal management, because it is a thing that really does work and keeps you sort of eye on the prize all the time, really. So, goals. Set goals. You've got your short-term goals, you've got your mid-term goals, and you've got your long-term goals, okay? So, all of them, it depends on how you set as short, mid, or long. For me, a long-term goal is 10 years, and mid-term goal is about 5 years, maybe 3 years, and your short-term goals are stuff you really want to achieve in sort of the next year, next 6 months, even the next week, you know? Goals can be set for every aspect of life, no matter how small. It's a good confidence builder, so going back to that fundamental, set goals to go to the shops or leave the house. Like, it depends what stage you're at in your life, because everyone's different. And sometimes a smaller goal like that may be more like, it's harder for you to do that than, say, for me, for example. So, goals. Set your goals. Keep an eye on them. For me, I write them on a whiteboard and I keep them there, so I see them every single day and I remind myself every single day. And I'll tell you what, that feeling when you tick one off is amazing. So do be realistic with them, obviously. Understand the process and just make sure you keep to them. They may need tweaking every now and then. I've had to tweak one recently because I've had a little bit of a setback for me, and I have to understand that it's going to take a few more months for me to do that. So, without talking about it too long, because as I said, I'm writing an article which I will share with everyone. Now, for those of you that follow my Instagram, I appreciated the benefits of a good plan. Because some of us wing it, relying on luck, a lot, heavily relying on luck, and let's face it, that won't get you where you want to get. So, put a plan in place. Understand where you're going to be each month to a certain extent. Don't overplan it, because it will go wrong, and then you'll be disappointed if it does. So just plan to a certain extent, keep a good routine, and make sure you keep on track. Don't deviate from that track unless you really, really have to, okay? So, moving on from the plan, stick to your plan and look for opportunity. So the next fundamental is opportunity, because I tell you what, opportunity is everywhere. It really is. Especially nowadays, right, with social media, you know, YouTube and Instagram, just, yeah, in general, the online business, right, it's massive. Like, my life coaching business is based online. Without the internet, I can't do it, you know. Okay, say can't, don't like the word can't, but do you know what I mean? Opportunity, find it, look for it, put yourself out there. All of these fundamentals point towards one thing, and that's putting yourself out there, right? Because if you don't do that, opportunity, you know, it doesn't just walk in front of you. Sometimes it may, yeah, but you do have to look for it to a certain extent. But use the tools that you've got. There's so many tools out there that are free. You don't even have to put any outlay up to it, you know. You can just use your time. Your time is the most valuable thing you will ever have. Use it, and use it wisely, you know. Perseverance. Right. This is the next fundamental, because perseverance, it's key, because you have to understand that without it, you're going to have setbacks, right? And without perseverance, you're not going to take that on the chin as well as you should. If you persevere with things, because some things may take longer than you may expect. For example, my recent goal, I failed. Yeah, it's a good example, because it does put me back a few months. However, because I persevered with it, I've understood that, you know, it happened for a reason, and you learn from it, right? So persevere in every aspect of your life. It will save disappointment, and let's face it, ultimately aid you towards, well, success, really. That's what we're here for, right? Now, the next one is, well, very well known. Be proactive and not reactive. Proactive people, it's proven that proactive people achieve more, do better, understand more, learn more, and just generally are better people, right? Because if you're reactive, you're waiting for something to happen for then you to do something about it. That's not the way to be. It works in your day-to-day jobs. It works in if you're starting up a business. You can apply it to so many aspects of your life. Stay proactive. I constantly feel bad if I sit down and I chill out. That's important. And that's, to me, originally I used to think, do you know what? I'm not being proactive right now. But I understood, you know, you do have to have a little bit of downtime every now and then. So I wasn't sitting around waiting for something to happen and then do something about it. I was fully aware of what I needed to be proactive for. And here I am, being proactive right now as it goes. And obviously, I briefly touched on loving what you do, right? Well, I do love what I do. And I want to love what I do even more, which I know sounds stupid, but I do. And it's such a fundamental key to success in loving what you do. Because if you're doing the wrong thing, you know, there's only so far you'll be able to take yourself, because you're just constantly fighting against the grain, and you don't want to do it, and you're forcing yourself to do something you don't like. So it may take time, but try new things. I've mentioned, you know, utilise social media and utilise what we have there that's free. You know, as I said, all you're doing is outlaying your time. Find what you love, and then go through all of the fundamentals that I have just gone through. So you've got confidence, you've got self-belief, you've got goals, you've got your plan, you've got your opportunity, perseverance, proactiveness, and loving what you do. Now, that for me is what the fundamentals of success are. Yes, there probably is a few more based on every individual's story and journey. So maybe go out there, write down what you think your fundamentals of success are, and then maybe weigh up where you are at each point. No one's perfect. I'm not at the point in some of them that I want to be. So think about it, guys. I'm not going to natter on to you for 18 minutes again this week. No one needs to hear that. And obviously, I hope you guys have an amazing week, and I will catch up with you all again next week for episode 3. Take care, guys.